Throughout the entire history of the NFL, only 18 running backs have ever won the MVP award. In fact, the last time a running back won the award was Adrian Peterson in 2012. However, throughout the first 6 games of the 2022 NFL season, it seems as if there could finally be a couple of running backs in the discussion. While the NFL media will likely never let a running back win MVP again, especially considering the discussion around their replaceability of the position, there should be no debates that at least 2 backs should be in the discussion for the award this season, that being Nick Chubb and Saquon Barkley. But as amazing of a season as Chubb has had, we are not here to talk about him. Chubb is undoubtedly having the better season than Barkley from a statistical standpoint. However, the Browns do not share the same team success of that of the Giants. In today's video, I'm going to be looking at Saquon Barkley's hot start to the season and how he's been able to bounce back after such a devastating injury. We all know about the ACL tear Saquon Barkley went through during the second game of the 2020 season. However, when he came back in 2021, it was very clear that Barkley wasn't the same. I mean, it's hard enough to run behind arguably the worst offensive line in the NFL, but even when Barkley had the opportunities, you could tell he didn't have his burst or agility we all knew him for, making for a very long season in which Barkley ran the ball 162 times for just 592 yards and 2 touchdowns, with a very depressing yards per carry average of 3.7. While this may not all have been on Barkley, as outside of the horrid offensive line the Giants had in 2021, his offensive coordinator was also Jason Garrett and Freddie Kitchens, so it really could not have been a worse situation for him. Despite this, even when just watching Barkley, you could tell he wasn't the same. He lacked the speed to hit the holes efficiently, the agility to break tackles, and most importantly, his confidence was smashed to pieces. Barkley wasn't making the cuts that allowed him to make big plays, and in addition to this, it really seemed like he just flat out lacked the speed to get to the outside sometimes. A really good example of this is on this play right here. It's a simple outside handoff, and as you can see, Barkley has a pretty good lane to the outside. Now, I don't know if he just doesn't trust his legs, or maybe he just missed it, but instead of cutting to the outside, like he almost always does, he instead pushes into the defensive line and just gets a gain of 1. When you compare this to something from this year, it's like watching 2 completely different players. This is another outside handoff, instead with John Feliciano pulling as his lead blocker. Once Barkley gets the ball, he's faced with a similar option: cut inside to get the easy yards, or use his agility to take the run outside for a potential big play. This time, however, a much more confident Barkley took the outside and turned this into a 63-yard run. And even on the very next play, I guarantee you the Saquon Barkley from 2021 is just pushing this up the middle. Instead, he makes a beautiful cut off of some nice blocks and gets an easy touchdown. Obviously, it's easier for Barkley to make plays like this behind a much better offensive line. However, the confidence in his ability to make cuts and big plays that has been reinstilled into Barkley has really been the difference. We all know what Saquon Barkley is capable of when fully healthy. We just haven't seen that since basically his rookie season, when he looked like arguably a top 3 running back in the NFL. Flash forward 3 years and an ACL tear later, and Barkley looks just as good as he did back in 2018. Through 6 games, Barkley has been putting the Giants' offense on his back, running the ball 119 times for 616 yards and 4 touchdowns, with a very impressive yards per carry average of 5.2. So through 6 games, Barkley has already surpassed his 13-game season in 2021. The things we've seen Barkley do with the ball in his hands this season have been absurd. One of my favorite plays happened right here against the Green Bay Packers. Barkley's lined up as a receiver and runs a simple crossing route. While he's originally covered by Packers linebacker Devondre Campbell, the Packers are running a zone this play, so he just passes Barkley off. However, there's no one there to pick him up, making for a very easy catch. As Barkley continues his run, he's heading towards the sideline where Darnell Savage is waiting for him. Now, Savage likely just thinks that Barkley is going to run out of bounds and avoid the contact, but instead, Barkley is still heading in towards the sideline, but puts a filthy cut that Savage was clearly not expecting. The way Barkley is able to completely change his direction on this play while losing almost no speed is unbelievable, and stuff like this really helps him turn these minimal gains into big plays. This offense is built around Barkley and the team knows it. Don't get me wrong, Daniel Jones has had his fair share of big moments in carrying the team, but Barkley has been that guy. This honestly surprised me a bit, considering that both Mike Kafka and Brian Daboll come from teams that were not very reliant on their running backs in the slightest. So coming into the season, I thought Barkley would not be relied on as much as he has been. Regardless, Daboll has shown that he trusts a 25-year-old running back to lead this team, and he has done just that. I really don't think that there are any doubts that if you take Barkley off this team, the Giants are a lot worse than 5-1. Currently, Saquon Barkley is on pace to run the ball 337 times for 1,745 yards and 11 touchdowns. Will he reach this? Who knows? Regardless, the start to the season Barkley has had has truly been amazing to watch. It's always great to see a player come back from such a devastating injury. And hey, if he doesn't win MVP, he's certainly a lock for Comeback Player of the Year so far. With that being said, my name is Desmond, and if you enjoyed the video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to try my hardest to get an upload out at least every other day for the foreseeable future, so look forward to that. For now though, I'll see y'all later.